Time now for Wellness Wednesday, sponsored by Mountain State Wellness.
Welcome back, guys. Joining us now are Doctors Lucas and Amy Watterson from Mountain State Wellness. Thanks for joining us again, guys.
Thanks for having us.
It's great to be here again.
I'm feeling better already.
I know. I
See that?
kind of
You get some
align myself
knowledge?
a little bit when they come in.
I am 1 inch taller when you're here, you know?
Yeah, we are. But for our viewers who don't know, can you just share a little bit about Mountain State Wellness to them?
Sure. So Mountain State Wellness is a family practice that we established in 2002 in Morgantown, and we specialize in detecting head and neck injuries to the top of the neck, right? We detect them and we correct them using a very gentle procedure, which is dependent upon taking pre-X-rays, making measurements, and then taking post-X-rays to verify that we have the best alignment possible.
Yeah.
As we maintain that over several weeks, and maybe a couple months at the longest, we begin to see people's symptoms and conditions actually reverse and return to health with less disability, less discomfort, less dysfunction in their body by simply correcting the neck injury that's been plaguing them for months or years.
Right.
Well, how does someone's neck actually just get aligned all of a sudden?
Misaligned.
Or is it
Misaligned.
misaligned?
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Well, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
Oh, sorry, misaligned.
We find the misalignment and we correct it. So
Yeah.
we realign it to the proper position. Well, my personal story is I actually fell out of a pickup truck at the age of 3 years old onto concrete.
Oh my gosh.
And as most parents, you just pick up your kid and dust them off if there's not much blood or much symptoms or whatever. And you just kind of keep moving. But I became that sick kid in the family where I would get an ear infection in November and I would be on antibiotics until Easter every single year.
And the rest of your family didn't really suffer these same kind of illness
Not
that you
not
did
to
as a
the same
kid?
severity. And so then what would happen is I eventually ended up with my tonsils removed. And then over the course of my high school years, I started to have cognitive and emotional issues with some anxiety of going on to college. And then I was placed on ADD medication because of an inconclusive diagnosis.
Goodness.
So after about 2 years of being addicted to those medications, I started asking my mom's chiropractor, is this how my life's going to be, right? And so she described to me that health comes from the inside out and not the outside in.
Interesting.
And that it is regulated and controlled through the nervous system. And so once I started getting my spine adjusted and implementing whole food clinical nutrition with her, I got off all of my medications, and that was, oh my, let's do the math, 27 years ago.
Holy cow.
And so that's why I went on to chiropractic school. That's why I have a passion for taking care of kids. You know, they've sustained that cesarean section, which we've talked about in the past, or they've had that, you know, slip and fall. I saw a lady this week in my office, and she actually, at the age of 5, was running on the playground and smashed her head into a cement post because she wasn't looking, right? And so it's those injuries that you're like, well, you know, she wasn't bleeding and she wasn't broken, but at the same time, it just kind of gets brushed under the rug. And those nervous system dysfunctions become louder and louder the longer it's there.
It's just wild to me the way it manifests in ways that I could never imagine as a layman. You know, I never would think it could manifest itself into ADHD or ADD or these other types of things.
So once again, understanding the premise, the principle of everything we do is that the nervous system of the body is the master system of the body. Okay? A famous medical anatomy textbook called Gray's Anatomy says that the nervous system controls and coordinates every single organ and tissue function in the body. It goes on to say that in most disease conditions, more often than not, the nervous system has become seriously disturbed. And so we're kind of going all the way back to the origin of a lot of conditions and chronic conditions that people deal with in this country, basically. And they never take and relate the pole at 5 or falling out of the pickup truck at 5 and the symptoms are developing at 25. And in our practice, we help to connect that for them. And then once we correct it, they begin to see the reality is that's when it started.
You know, you mentioned medication. You were put on medication. A lot of people, a lot of West Virginians are on medication and they're just put on it straight away, barely any questions asked. Do you find that your patients, after you see them and they go through this, that they are relieved and they don't have to use as much medication?
I find that people are looking for different solutions. Because they know that that is just a management of the symptom over time. And if they can get the relief that they're looking for and resolution in that health condition, then they can go back to their medical doctor and get released from that if that's where they're at.
See, as a culture, we kind of have to let go of the idea that the only solution for our health problems is drugs or surgery.
Yes.
I've been saying this.
Yes, yes, yes.
So chiropractic is another viable option. Upper cervical, specifically what we do. Nutrition is a good option. Exercise is a good option. Stress management is a good. All these other things change the body too, and we've become too attached to this one solution. And unfortunately, it's caused additional problems, as we know, right? Absolutely. I mean, we can go into the conversation with opioids in this state and so on and so forth, and we know, hands down, studies show across the world and even Europe that chiropractic trumps opioids any day of the week with relieving chronic pain.
Really?
Right?
Yes.
So,
Wow.
so it is a solution to that problem as well.
And I feel like if any community of people needs to hear it, it's here in West Virginia.
Correct.
Because you know what's going on here with the opioid crisis. It's out of control, and it's not going anywhere.
Correct.
And people like you are helping people.
And you guys are one of the only ones, if not the only ones, in West Virginia doing this service.
You service the entire state,
Yes,
right?
correct. Yes.
Okay, and where can our viewers go to learn more, book an appointment, and just find out more? Yeah.
So they can find us in 3 different ways, really. Our website is mtnstatewellness.com.
Okay.
We're on multiple social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. And then also they can just simply call our office at 304-292-7740.
You don't have to live with the pain anymore.
You don't have to do it,
Say
people.
it out loud.
Yes,
True.
Yes,
Drs. Watterson, thank you so much for stopping by as always and just giving us insight to what you do and into our lives, really.
And giving some people hope out there.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what we're doing,
absolutely.
absolutely. Hope, help, and healing, we say.
Hope,
Beautiful.
health, and healing. Guys, we'll be right back after this.